Hi, I'm Michael Choi, and today we're going to discuss how to take a listing call in. So when someone calls you thinking about selling their property. Now it's just not a matter of getting the name, number, address and booking in the time. This initial call not only has to impress them, but you also need to get the right information so you can set up the whole meeting. This is the foundation of your meeting, so this will set up your whole listing presentation if you can get the right information. So I'll show you how to do that. So someone calls you thinking about selling, you have a little bit of a chat, build up rapport, and then you say, okay, and how do I spell your name? It's very important, I believe, to get the spelling correctly in the listing presentation and on the pack that you're going to drop off and things like that. So for example, Kerry can be spelled with an I or a Y, Peter can be spelled differently as well. There's so many names that can be spelled differently, so make sure you get the full spelling of their name. Okay, and what was your phone number? So they give you a phone number. Say they give you the mobile. You say, okay, and what was your home number just in case? They give you the home number. Say, okay, and what was your mobile just in case? And lead into it. 04 and lead into it. Okay, you want to get as much contact details as you can because they might not be selling straight away, and you need as much contact details as you can so you can follow them up appropriately in the next 6 months. Okay. Okay, what was the address of the property? Obviously crucial. Now, I like to get all that information at the very start just in case the phone cuts off or something like that, and I'll never hear from them again. I want to make sure that I got all that information so I can follow up. What was the address of the home? They give you the address and you say, okay, that's a lovely area. Why would you want to move from there? Okay? And look, they've already made their decision that they're going to sell, so don't worry, you're not going to sell them out of that just by saying one thing like that. But that gives you the motivation, so they'll talk a little bit about it. And you say, okay, and where are you going? Where are you thinking about going to? Once again, that's just more for information. And when do you want to be in there by? So, okay, lovely area, street, why do you want to move from there? And where are you going and when did you want to be in there by? That gives you the motivation, okay, which is very important in your listing presentation. Okay. Firstly, thank you again, Mr. Prospective Vendor, for calling me. Don't say that, say their name. Just for marketing efforts, I like to monitor what marketing's working and things like that. So what prompted you to call myself and whereabouts did you get my number from? These two things are very important, so that's where you need to inject your money in the future because it obviously is working, so you need to track that stuff, okay? Now, before we make a time that's convenient for you, is it okay that I ask you a couple of quick questions so that I can give you an appraisal figure that you can rely on? And so everyone has to say yes to that. And what that's doing a few things, because by this time you're talking to them a bit, they're just like, hey, hurry up, let's just make a time. They're thinking about that in the back of their mind. But also you're pre-framing them for the next thing that you're about to do. So before we make a time that's convenient for you, is it okay that I ask you a couple of quick questions so that I can give you a figure that you can rely on? They always say yes. Okay, now, I haven't seen your house before, and what I do is when I appraise houses, I give you comparable sales within the area. Now, the database that we get all this from and the website that we get all this from searches in price ranges. What price range do you think I should spend or concentrate most of my research on? What price range do you think I should concentrate most of my research in? And they might say, no, that's your job. Or they might just give you it, and then that's a big tick for you because you know where they're sitting. Or then they might say, look, that's your job, and you go, okay, well, I haven't seen your home. Would it be 500 to 550, 550 to 600, 600 to 650, etc., etc., and then narrow it down from there. Then they might still say, no, I don't want to give you any figures. They go, okay, well, tell me a little bit about your home. Tell me about the figures. How many bedrooms does it have? How many bathrooms? What's the parking situation like? What do you like most about the home? So then you can go into a conversation like that, okay? So you get the features of the house. Now, are you the only owner, or do you have a partner that you own it with? Very important to use the word partner as well, because it could be same-sex couple, okay? So don't say, do you have a wife or do you have a husband? Do you have a partner, okay? The reason why you want to know they're the only owner, because you want to make a meeting time that they're both there, because just because they're the one making the call doesn't mean they're the decision maker, okay? They could have been told by the decision maker to make the call. So it's not always the decision maker that makes the call, and that's a misconception that the decision maker is always the one that's calling. So you want to make a time that's convenient for both of them so that you can do your presentation to both of them, okay? They might say, no, I just want to be there, and at that point in time say, look, I've got a lot to share with you, and I suppose the more ears to listen, the more information you can retain. And secondly, I find that in partners usually think differently, so you probably have different angles of looking at things, and because you have different angles of looking at things, you have different questions for me. So it'd be great if you're both there. And then try and close it again. So when's the time that's convenient for both of you, X or Y, Y or Z, evening, morning, lunchtime, what have you. Okay, so make a time, close it. Pre-frame. Okay, depending on what they're doing here, how they answered here, and whether or not they're selling or how far away they are, you need to say, look, our meeting's going to take anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how many questions you have for me. Okay, so I can do it in 30 minutes, but it depends how many questions you have for me. Can you slot that time for me? Do you have enough time to see me? It's very important because I've been to appraisals in the past where they said, look, Michael, you got 15 minutes. Make that 14 minutes and 15 seconds because I just wasted 15 seconds to tell you that. So you need to make sure that you allocate time and you pre-frame that, okay? Now, so you've made the time. Do you have any questions? Ask them, do they have any questions? Okay, well, if you do think of any questions in between now and then, I want you to write them down so that when we do meet, you can make the best use of our time together. I'm going to, in between now and then, I'm also going to drop off an information pack. Don't call it a listing pack. I don't know what that is, an information pack. It's got a questionnaire in there. It's crucial that you fill this in because this is going to enable me to tailor a marketing campaign for you, and it's also going to enable you to save time. Okay, so if you want to save time when I come and meet you and have an effective meeting, then it's best that you do fill out that questionnaire beforehand. I just confirmed the appointment. It's 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night, and I look forward to seeing you. Have any other questions? No? Great. Well, thank you once again for the call. See you at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. Cheers. So look, yeah, that's the listing calling. A few things will set up the listing presentation. So it's very important that this is your foundation. And I remember when I first started in real estate, I actually had this next to my computer. I had it in my wallet, had printouts so that anytime someone called me, I was ready and I could get the information that I needed. So I hope you got something out of that. Enjoy.